sales event. Look at the palm trees here in Florida. Chilly afternoon here in Bradenton, Florida. Been chilly the last few days and quite blustery with the winds. Let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup this afternoon to be facing the Pittsburgh Pirates. Leading off in center field, Mike Tauchman. Gio Urshela will be at third base. Miguel Andujar will be in left field. Mike Ford, the cleanup hitter, he'll be at first base. Chris Iannetta, the veteran catcher, will bat fifth. Chris Gittens will be the designated hitter, followed by Zach Granite in right field. Tyro Estrada will be at short, and Kyle Holder will bat ninth. He'll be at second base.
Going to be facing this right-hander, Chris Stratton, on the mound for the Buccos here in Bradenton. You can see last year split between the Angels and Pittsburgh. Overall, a lot of everything, a lot of hits, walks, strikeouts, but he was much better with Pittsburgh in the bullpen last year. And the scouting report for Chris Stratton. He's a former first-rounder going back to 2012, Kenny, with the San Francisco Giants. He was the 20th pick overall in the nation that year out of Mississippi State. And as I said last year, in 28 games with the Bucs, he was pretty solid. Had a 3.66 ERA, kind of reestablished himself as a reliever and getting another shot to start here. And you know, when you're in Pittsburgh now, there's all sorts of roles that are open. So even though he's pitching from the stretch and had success as a reliever, he might get one more shot in the rotation.
Yeah, you go back to 2012, he was the Southeast Conference Pitcher of the Year at Mississippi State. He went 11-2 that year with a 2.38 ERA. But from that point on, now he's a pro. Let's take a look at the defense for the Pittsburgh Pirates. From third to first, it's going to be Gonzalez, Newman, Frazier, and Bell. In the outfield, Kramer, Dyson, and Polanco. Former Yankee J.R. Murphy, John Ryan Murphy, doing the catching. You see the high sky there. Not a cloud in the sky. With the wind and the sun, it's going to be tough on pop-ups and fly balls this afternoon. We'll see how the outfielders and infielders handle that task. Well, Mike Tauchman has stepped in, and we're about ready to go here in Bradenton, Florida. Tauchman in center field this afternoon can play all three outfield positions. That's what he's done so far this spring. First pitch of the game is fouled off to the left. A good fastball, strike one. Stratton, fastball, about 95. He also throws a sinker, a slider, a curve, and a change. So he's got just about everything. Tauchman, of course, was busy last year. Called up 4 different times to the Yankees and really caught a foothold towards the end before the injury bug bit him. That pitch is over the inside corner for a call strike, and it's 0-2. The plate umpire is Alex Tossi. The other umpires who will move around during the course of the game are Jerry Lane, veteran Tom Hallion, and another veteran umpire, Phil Cuzzy. Stratton working from the stretch. Deals a breaking ball, hit on the ground to second to Frazier. He has it, throws on the first to Bell, and there's one down. The Pittsburgh Pirates come in with a record of 3-11 and a tie this spring. The Yankees are 8-5-1 with a tie this spring. There is the new Pirate manager, Derek Shelton, in his first year. Replaces Clint Hurdle, who was with the Pirates for 9 seasons before being let go. Shelton used to manage in the Yankees organization in the minor leagues. Here's Gio Urshela. And he swings at the first pitch, hits it down the right field line, and this is twisting foul. Urshela does have a home run this spring. Hit it at, well, there's another look at Shelton, who lives in nearby Tampa. And for years, he worked under Kevin Cash of the Rays. He was the hitting coach. Last year, he was the bench coach for Rocco Baldelli in Minnesota. He's also been a coach for 15 seasons with Cleveland and Toronto as well. This pitch is low and away, and it's a ball and a strike on Urshela. Now, Shelton also played in the Yankees minor league system. And when he was a player in the Yankee minor league system, he said he was known as the other Derek. Here's the pitch, and it's upstairs for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Of course, Derek Jeter was the #1 draft pick, and of course now Hall of Famer. So you can see why Derek Shelton was the other Derek.
Well, he certainly paid his dues on the road to finally getting a crack at being a manager.
Hit on the ground towards short, and Newman 2 ground ball outs for the Yankees. Get it started here in the first inning. We mentioned Stratton does throw a sinker. And to me, David, a sinker is becoming like a pitch of the past. You know, now it's all 4-seam fastballs, throw it as hard as you can up in the zone. Used to be a lot of pitchers with sinker slider pitchers.
And Greg Maddux in the Hall of Fame with a pretty good 2-seam fastball.
Here's Miguel Andujar. He too has a home run this spring. 5 for 20. Of course, bouncing back from that shoulder injury of last year. And the first pitch just misses. That's ball 1.
I think we've seen the strike zone change over the last 10, 15 years to more of a north and south strike zone, as umpires are now graded on the radar tracking system. Not so much east and west anymore.
And Andujar will foul it over the roof and out of play. This ballpark used to be known as McKechnie Field. I played in it. You know, it's been around a long time if I played in it. In fact, it's the oldest spring training facility going back to 1923.
Yeah, if you squint right there, you can almost see Willie McCovey wheelbarrow in the back.
Up and in, and it moves. Andujar off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. It is now Lecom Park. The 2-1 pitch on the way to Andujar, and he checks his swing and a swing and
You think about the history, you're right, Kenny. I mean, a lot of guys played here over the years. See there, that's definitely a check.
You think of players like Roberto Clemente?
Clemente, I'm thinking.
Stargell?
Stargell's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I said McCovey, my mistake.
Well, they're both big-time hitters. That pitch is high. And that's ball 4. And the Yankees have a base runner with 2 down. Dave Parker, Bill Mazeroski, all those great Pirate teams, they could really hit. So Andujar's at first with 2 down. It'll bring up Mike Ford, who's a cleanup hitter this afternoon. Ford with a home run, couple of runs batted in this spring. Hit his home run at Steinbrenner Field. Really made an impression last year. Drove in 25 runs in just 50 games and 12 homers. Check swing, pitches in the dirt, blocked by John Ryan Murphy.
Kind of almost at the halfway point of spring training, really, in terms of games played, timing.
And this is when, as a hitter, you start to get it together. Make that push for opening day. Manager Aaron Boone took the bus ride down here with the team. Pitch is fouled off. We're about an hour south of Tampa.
Start seeing the rosters getting cut down a little bit.
Yeah, and the players who start the games play a little bit deeper into the ball games. And then managers start to playing the games a little bit more by the book. 1-1 on Ford. And Andujar with the lead at first base. That is outside ball 2. 2-1. Stratton was traded to the Angels and then to the Pirates after signing with the Giants. You had mentioned he was a #1 draft pick. Came with a breaking ball and misses for second straight hitter. He falls behind 3 balls and a strike. Tall right-hander from Tupelo, Mississippi. That's a beautiful shot. That's ball 4. So after 2 ground ball outs, successive walks, and the Yankees now have a runner in scoring position as Andujar will move down to second. Ford will take over at first base. And it'll bring up the veteran catcher Chris Iannetta, who's having himself a very good spring. And when you look at the numbers, that's one of those late afternoon batting averages, 545. Looking for his first RBI. He's got a chance here with a runner in scoring position. The Stratton has gotten himself into somewhat of a jam here in the first inning. Pitch is low and away for ball 1. Home plate starting to move around on him a bit. Pitch count's going up. And looking around at the outfielders, they're all playing pretty shallow. The wind is blowing in from center field at a pretty good clip. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. It's going to take quite a shot to get one out of here today.
Yeah, watching batting practice today, yeah, you saw a lot of big hitters that took some big swings and a lot of warning track fly balls.
1-1. Swung on and missed, strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes. Nothing fancy there. A couple of fastballs to pick up 2 strikes on Chris Iannetta.
It's a hot ticket here in Bradenton with the Yankees in town.
Ball is popped up and out of play over the roof and hit it towards the parking lot. Yeah, we've got about a full house here this afternoon. Maybe a few seats out in the left field bleachers, but that's about all.
Talk about Yankees are always a big road draw wherever they go. That carries over to spring training as well.
The premium seats are in the sun today. Oh yeah, hoodie weather. Breaking ball misses and the count goes to 2-2. If you're Strand, you want to make this your pitch of decision. You don't want to go to 3 balls and 2 strikes and give the runners a chance to get a running start. Here's the 2-2. Fastball hit on the ground, foul. Now, it's officially 66 degrees, but it doesn't feel that warm. I understand next week it's supposed to get back near the 80s, back towards normal. And we talk a lot about the weather and how chilly it is here. I know people up north are they got it worse than we do. 46 degrees in New York right now. Next pitch. High, ball 3, and there will be a 3-2 pitch with 2 down. That means Andujar and Ford will get a running start.
Get another look. It's got a lot of plate, but just a little bit high. From the side. Ready for letters.
Here's the payoff pitch. The runners go, and it's high for ball 4. The bases are loaded. So Stratton all of a sudden having trouble throwing strikes, and it'll give Chris Gittens a chance with the bases loaded and 2 down. And we're having a discussion on the mound here. Try and settle down Stratton, who can't throw strikes all of a sudden. An infield meeting at the mound. What do those guys know about pitching?
Hey, look, can we play too? We want to play. We want to go hit. Get us in the dugout.
Here's Gittens. Has a home run. He hit the first home run of the spring for the Yankees at Steinbrenner Field.
He's been impressive. He's got some bat speed.
And he'll take a breaking ball in there for a call strike. Gittens led all Yankee minor leaguers in runs batted in last year with 77. Slugged 23 home runs for Trenton in the Eastern League. As Coney said, he's got some power. Bases loaded here. Sliders outside, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. Gittens signed by the Yankees in 2014. He's a 12th round pick. Here's the 1-1, and it's high and away, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike.
Just looks good in the box, Kenny. You know, I mean, yeah, I'll defer to you, the former slugger, but just a nice setup, really relaxed, and generates some serious speed. once he unleashes.
Well, he's ahead on the count here. I'd just be looking for that fastball and go for it. The breaking ball, and it's swung on and missed, and it's 2-2.
Well, he was looking for fastball. That's what the swing tells you.
You know what? I think Stratton's had a better breaking ball this inning. His fastball. He's had more control of it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The bases are full of Yankees. Two, swung on it, missed, strike 3, and Stratton gets out of it. The Yankees leave 3 runners here in the top of the first. Here come the Pittsburgh Pirates. No score in the game. Yankees this afternoon. Gerard Dyson will be in center. Kevin Newman will be in short. Adam Frazier will be the second baseman. And Josh Bell, the first baseman, is the cleanup hitter. Gregory Polanco will be in right field. Eric Gonzalez will be at third. John Brian Murphy will do the catching. Kevin Kramer's in left field. And Luke Maile will be the designated hitter, and he'll hit 9th.
Jonathan Loaisiga on the hill here for the Yanks down in Bradenton, and you can see on the spring just a whole lot of nothing other than strikeouts. I mean, he has been untouchable so far, and he's going to start the game here today. And the scouting report for Jonathan, it has, as you saw those numbers, a lights out spring. 9 Ks in those 5 innings pitched, and pure strikeout stuff. I mean, we've always known this about Jonathan, you know, that his arm is a cut above upper 90s fastball, really good breaking stuff to go with it, and also a changeup, and multi-dimensional in terms of his roles. I think that's the way they look at him. They have a need at the back end of the rotation now, so certainly they're building him up, but he can pitch late in the games. He can pitch in the middle innings, twice through the lineup. It's a nice weapon to have.
Well, you mentioned his power arm. He's got 31 2/3 innings pitched with the Yankees, 37 strikeouts over the last couple of years. Here's Gerard Dyson, speedy center fielder. The veteran takes inside ball 1 from Loaisiga. Loaisiga originally signed by the San Francisco Giants back in 2012 out of Managua, Nicaragua. And it was signed by the Yankees as a minor league free agent in 2016. That's what Dyson has done so far, or did last year, I should say, with the Arizona Diamondbacks. That pitches inside for a ball. Dyson, in a part-time role, stole 30 bases last year, and 5 times in his career he's stolen 30 or more. So this is a guy you want to keep off the bases. Count is 2 balls and no strikes. That's in there for a call strike. 2-1. Plenty of pop on the glove of Iannetta. Young Mr. Loaisiga can light up a radar gun. He's also got a pretty good hook.
Good look at the spring training hats here. The Yankees feature.
In there for call strike 2, and that'll level the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Very subtle. You see the NY, got some color to it. Red, white, and blue. Top hat on the side.
Here's your 2-2 pitch. Swung on in, missed, strike 3. It looked like a changeup. Loaisiga strikes out. First batter he faces.
Well, back-to-back changeups after falling down 2-0. This just shows you. I mean, this is Jonathan Loaisiga's 3rd best pitch, probably, that changeup, and it's high quality.
I think the part of the reason for a pitcher having a successful changeup, you got to make it look hittable. It's almost like you throw it to the middle of the plate and rely on the lack of speed or the fade to get the hitter to swing and miss. Here's Kevin Newman, the shortstop, and he'll take a pitch in there for a strike. Newman had a good year last year with Pittsburgh, hit over 300. That's what he's done so far this spring. And in, and it's a ball and a strike. Newman also hit 12 home runs for Pittsburgh last year. Pittsburgh not really a home run hitting team. Second fewest home runs in the National League. Only the Marlins hit fewer homers than the Pittsburgh Pirates. All is fouled off to the right. We were talking earlier about the big Pirate sluggers over the years, and there was I think the best of them all was Willie Stargell. He hit home runs where home runs were not supposed to go, as far as the pitchers were concerned. Ball and 2 strikes on Newman. Ground ball towards the middle. Ranging to his left is Estrada. The throw on the first is in time for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for the Pittsburgh Pirates here in the first inning. Their half of the first. Going to bring up Adam Frazier, the second baseman.
Kind of my first chance to see Estrada play a little bit of shortstop, which is. I was talking to Tim Naring before the game, you know, Yankee super scout and Brian Cashner's right-hand man about the roster construction, and you do need a backup shortstop to Gleyber Torres. Tyler Wade certainly fits that bill.
Pitch to Frazier's high for ball 1.
Get a look at Estrada playing short today. Good first play.
And we've seen him at second base. Now, last year in a pinch, when the Yankees had injuries, he started some games in left field in San Francisco. Foul back. And it's a ball and a strike now. I remember asking one of the Yankee coaches, and they said he compared him to Ronald Torreyes with much more power. That clips the inside corner for strike 2. Loaizaga looking sharp here in the first inning. Has he thrown a breaking ball yet, Conan?
Not yet. Just fastball changeup so far.
This would be a good place to throw one. No, comes with the fastball and it's popped up into foul territory. Open near the stands and not making the play is Gio Urshela. Ran into the screen over there. Looked like he was shielding his eyes and he's got the glasses on. As we said, there's not a cloud in the sky. This is not going to be a fun day for anybody trying to catch a pop-up or a fly ball to the outfield. Hello. Single deck stadium here. The 1-2. Just missed the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Loaizaga is scheduled to go about 2 innings today, as the starting pitchers continue to build up their arms. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Strong bottom of the first for Jonathan Loaizaga. 2 strikeouts, no score here in Bradenton.
Right. Well, Clint Frazier, come on down. Here's your opportunity. And of course, we saw Talkman last year.
Zach Granick will take a pitch high for ball 1. Granick batting in the 7th spot today.
And on the other end of the kids are all right. The young guns and their timetable. Clark Schmidt has been very impressive. Davey Garcia pitched last night with good stuff. Michael King in that mix.
That's high and away. 2 balls and no strikes. You know, you would think that after last year the Yankees couldn't possibly have a year where so many players go down with an injury, but they're not off to a particularly good start this year. 2-0 pitch, and Granite takes him way upstairs. Ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Stratton walked 3 batters in the first inning. He was able to get out of it with a strikeout of Chris Gittens. But he's back on that track again as he falls behind 3 balls and no strikes. And a 4-pitch walk to get things started, and the 4th walk allowed by Chris Stratton. And not only did he walk a batter, he walked a very fast one. And granted, he can really run. Well, Derek Shelton has seen enough. Pirates are going to the bullpen. Chris Stratton will be replaced.
And your Yankees on yes.
New pitcher in the ball game, a left-hander for the Pirates. It's going to be Robbie Erlin taking over for Chris Stratton. And he'll face Tyler Estrada with a man on. Nobody out here in the top of the 2nd. No score here in Bradenton. Pitches high for ball 1. Erlin, originally a 3rd-round draft pick of the Texas Rangers back in 2009. That's what he did with the Padres last year. Toss over the first. Granite is back. Next pitch, it's high and inside for ball two. 2 balls and no strikes. I mentioned Granite had good speed.
An aggressive lead over there, didn't he?
Yeah. A few years ago, playing at Chattanooga, stole 56 bases. Pitch is hit well to center field. Going back is Dyson, still going back, and he'll make the catch as the wind knocks that one down. Granite has to hustle back to first base. Estrada got a lot of that one, but Mother Nature didn't help him. A long, loud out. Dyson showing his wheels in center field.
Well, that ball is hammered as Estrada hits it on the button, and Dyson can go get him with the best of them. And Zach Granite knows the wind's blowing in. Get there, tag it again, and go back. No problem.
So 1 out, 1 on, and bring up Kyle Holder, who's playing second base for the Yankees today, and takes the ball. Ten games thus far this spring. Has a run batted in. Holder, known as an excellent glove man, plays shortstop mostly, but today it's second base. Line drive towards center field. Dyson on the move, and he can't make the play. The ball gets by him. Left fielder backs it up. That's Kramer, and the Yankees will have runners at first and third with 1 out. Well, it looks like Dyson's better at going back on the ball than he is coming in.
Good view right here. You could see maybe a little bit of a hesitation over before in. And good backup here by left field. And otherwise, with Granite speed, he would have scored on that easily. So good hustle. Backing up and holding Holder to first base.
Well, Granite at third with 1 out. Holder at first. Back at the top of the order in Mike Tauchman. And he takes one downstairs for ball 1. Tauchman grounded out to second his first time. Pirate infield, they double play depth. You mentioned Tauchman did a great job for the Yankees filling in for injured players in the outfield, and 13 home runs and 47 runs batted in. Certainly decent totals for a part-time player. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Erlin was going to go to Cal Poly, but took the money from the Rangers instead to start his pro career. Ball is fouled off to the left. 2 balls and strike. That's got to be a tough call for a lot of youngsters. 18 years old, got a chance to maybe go to a major university and do your pitching or playing a position player. And then the pros come and dangle. I know the college coaches don't like that.
Yeah, and the college programs are so much better nowadays. Some very strong programs. You know, a former colleague of ours, Al Leiter's son, had that same choice this year. Was eventually drafted by the Yankees, but would have potentially been a first-round pick. But kind of let it be known he wanted to go to college and has started at Vanderbilt this year and gotten off to a great start his first couple of outings.
Didn't he have 12 strikeouts on his first outing?
He did. He
in 5 innings.
He looks pretty impressive so far as a freshman at Vanderbilt.
Runners on the move, and the pitch is fouled off. So Holder will come back to first. Jack Leiter?
Yeah, Al Leiter says Jack Leiter's going to be more famous than he was and is a better pitcher already.
You know what? I've watched Jack pitch, and his delivery, you know, Al's a left-hander, Jack's a right-hander. It's almost the same as Al's, but just a mirror image of it.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff.
Well, if Jack turns out to be half the man his old man is, he's going to be a heck of a guy. Tauchman takes it. It's in there for a call. Strike 3. So that's out number 2. The Yankees have had some opportunities here.
Tauchman does not like the call. Thinks it's up and in, and he may have a legitimate beef there.
That's maybe a little too close to take. So 2 on and 2 out, and it brings up Gio Urshela, who grounded out to shortstop Kevin Newman his first time up. Fouls this one back just over our heads for strike 1. Well, today we get an opportunity to see both Urshela and Andujar in the lineup. Andujar, I've yet to see him play at third base this spring. Now, he played a little first the other day, and I think the Yankees have kind of shelved that for a while. But he's looked pretty good in left field.
Well, that's obviously where the need is now, to find out if Miguel can handle his way out in left field.
Good stop by John Ryan Murphy to keep that from going back to the screen. And Andujar, of course, is on deck, batting third this afternoon. That young man can hit. Yankees on the corners. A 1-1 count on Gio Urshela. Hit hard. Great stop by the third baseman Gonzalez to play at second. Not in time. That's the only play he had to go for the force. And the Yankees are on the scoreboard. They pick up a 1-0 lead on the infield single by Gio Urshela. Good stop by Gonzalez.
Yeah, this is off the barrel of the bat, a scorching one-hopper. And a fantastic effort.
Good hustle by Holder to beat the play at second base. So the inning will continue for Andujar. Who drew the first of 3 consecutive walks. The Yankees got in the top of the first inning, still were unable to score. Ball 1 to Andujar.
Kenny, you could just tell from day one that Miguel was healthy again. His batting practice sessions were something to watch. His bat speed is there. He's strong again, fully healed.
Topper towards third. Gonzalez has this one, goes to second for the force, and that'll do it. But the Yankees break through on the scoreboard. They pick up a run here at the top of the second and lead 1-0. Marakovitz and Meredith, we understand that you've got some answers about what's going on with Aaron Judge. What can you tell us?
Kenny, it was a big mystery for a while, but as David mentioned, the Yankees now finally know exactly what is going on with Aaron Judge, and that is that he has a stress fracture in his first rib. The course of action right now will be that he'll be shut down for 2 weeks, and then the Yankees will reevaluate, put him through some more tests to see how that is healing. Aaron Boone said the other day that they have not ruled out surgery, but as of now, it has shown signs of healing. They're hoping that shutting him down will help that process along a little bit more. But it was clear by the comments Aaron Judge made in the clubhouse yesterday, there is a ton of frustration there. He wants to be out there with his team. He wants to be contributing. And even he admitted now opening day is not going to happen for him. But the Yankees have said time and time again, there's no perfect time for an injury by any stretch of the imagination. But having it happen early, they're able to just take their time with Aaron Judge. They want him for the entire season and especially the postseason. So they are not going to rush Aaron Judge right now. They're optimistic that it's going to heal on its own.
So that's the best case scenario. What would be the worst case scenario with Aaron Judge?
The worst case scenario would be that they would have to do surgery, and then you're looking at quite the time frame for healing, but you don't want to get into that yet. Right now they're hoping that after 2 weeks it's going to show some more signs of healing, and then maybe a couple more weeks and he'll be able to do some baseball activity. But there is another outfielder, Kenny, that's doing some baseball activity right now, moving in the right direction.
And that would be Giancarlo Stanton. There's a lot of firepower out of the lineup for the Yankees right now.
There's no doubt about it. Giancarlo Stanton did start doing some baseball activity. He's expected to play catch today at George M. Steinbrenner Field, also doing some tee and toss work in the cage. And Aaron Boone said that he is running on the Alter G treadmill. Now, Kenny or David, have you guys ever been on an Alter G treadmill?
Let me see. I've been on a regular one, but not an Ultra G.
Down in Soho one night, I was on one.
I am so scared to hear the entirety of that story, Coney. But for those of you at home that do not know what an Ultra G treadmill is, it's essentially makes sure that you don't put your complete body weight. It's an anti-gravity treadmill, so they can really regulate exactly how much pressure you're putting on your joints. So they'll eventually increase you a little bit more every time until you finally get to 100% body weight that you're able to put that on that calf. But they're going to bring him along slowly. But the fact that he's doing some baseball activity is certainly a sign that he is moving in the right direction.
Fly ball down the left field line, and this is going to drop fair just on the line, and Duhar will pick it up. It's going to be a two-base hit for Gregory Polanco as the Pirates have moved the tying run into scoring position with one out here in the second inning. Now, you've got some news on Gary Sanchez, and you know, is he a little iffy or whatever?
Well, Gary Sanchez was never scheduled to play here in Bradenton. He actually played last night. He caught, and it was the first time all spring that he had caught back-to-back games. And Aaron Boone said that he was not in either list of batting practice groups at George M. Steinbrenner Field today because he was feeling a little something in his back right now. According to Aaron Boone, that is nothing to be overly concerned about. It's something as catchers are getting ready throughout the spring. Sometimes they have some aches and pains, but they do not believe this is anything that is going to keep him out for any length of time. When I asked whether or not he would be on the field tomorrow taking BP, Aaron Boone said, depending on how he feels, they may give him an extra day, but they do expect him back out there on Monday.
Well, Meredith, thank you for the updates on the injured Yankees, and we understand you do have some interviews for us later on in the ball game.
We are expecting to hear from some of the outfielders who are going to have to step up. Mike Tauchman, Miguel Andujar, who's getting his first work in the outfield this spring training.
Nice play by Estrada. Thank you, Meredith. And the Pirates' Polanco will move over to the third with 2 outs. Coney. We mentioned Loizaga going to be throwing about 2 innings today, and that's Nick Nelson, who's starting to warm up in the Yankee bullpen down the left field line, or I should say out in left field beyond the wall. Here's the former Yankee, John Ryan Murphy, with 2 outs, a runner at third. Yankees up 1-0 here in the bottom of the second inning.
Do you love those shots we get down here in spring training? Like you're looking through, like you're spying on the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Through the gate down there in the bully.
John Ryan last year with Arizona, played 1 game with Atlanta. And he'll take a pitch for a call strike. Now, Yankee fans might remember that John Ryan Murphy, the Yankees were in Arizona in April last year, and he was CC Sabathia's 3,000th strikeout. Next pitch, swung on and missed, strike 2. Now, the ironic thing about that, when CC reached 2,500 strikeouts, John Ryan Murphy was his catcher. 500 later, he was the man once again. And he was traded to Minnesota for Aaron Hicks. That pitch is upstairs.
Wasn't he there on the mound when Mariano Rivera had his last appearance? And
oh my goodness, yeah.
The deer in the headlights look on his face as Mariano was bawling on Pettit's shoulder.
What is going on here? Got Andy Pettit and Derek Jeter came out to the mound to take Mariano out at Yankee Stadium in front of a packed house. Pitch is hit high and deep to left field. This one is gone. A home run for John Ryan Murphy, and the Pirates are out in front 2-1. By the way, that's Murphy's 3rd hit of the spring. All 3 are home runs. Talking to Derek Shelton, he says that Murphy has a chance to be the backup catcher for the Pirates this year. That should help his case.
Well, when the wind's blowing in, pulled fly balls are the thing to do. You don't have to hit it this far. Hit it in the air and pull it down the line. Gone.
So Pirates are up 2-1. Changeup. Kevin Kramer is low for a ball. So a former Yankee comes back to haunt them this afternoon with a 2-run homer. This ball's hit well to right field. Going back is Granite. The wind's going to knock this one down, and he catches it in the middle of the warning track. But the Pirates break through after the Yankees score one at the top. Last year's playoffs result as they head north of the border to take on Josie Altidore and Toronto FC. Coverage begins at 5. Presented by Etihad Airways. That's only on Yes. Mike Ford will lead it off here in the top of the 3rd inning. Takes a pitch upstairs for ball 1. You know, with the advent of the two-way player, the likes of Shohei Ohtani with the Angels and Brendan McKay of the Rays, the pitch is hit hard. Great. Nope, it's down the line. Ford will take a turn at first. He'll head into second, and he's in there with a leadoff double here in the 3rd inning. That was a rocket by Josh Bell. I was saying the two-way player, that was Mike Ford at Princeton. In the same season as junior year, he was player of the year and pitcher of the year at Princeton. And now, forget about the pitching. All he has to do is hit it. And he did right there. Sharp double down the right field line. So runner at second. Chris Iannetta, the catcher, will step in. Yankees are down 2-1. And that breaking ball's in there for a strike from Erlin.
I still say last year that walk-off home run by Mike Ford, my favorite play of the year.
Oh, okay.
Pinch hitting into the bullpen.
Pitch is fouled off. No balls and 2 strikes on Iannetta. Now, I think Ford hit 12 home runs last year, 8 of them against left-handed pitching. Iannetta drew a walk in the first. His walk loaded the bases. The Yankees failed to score. The guy up and in for a ball, 1-2. That's like old school right there. I like that. 0-2 pitch, move him off the plate. That was almost automatic back in the day.
Yeah, well executed. I mean, if you do it like that, it's just part of the game. Not up around the head.
That's high, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You know, making a batter move just a little bit is a lost art. Make him move his feet. Make him move him back. Make him a little bit uncomfortable.
So you can get that outside corner. Next pitch, and that's ball 3. After jumping ahead 0-2, Erlin is now run the count full. Now, which way did you prefer, up and in or around the feet with the slider?
Both.
Both? Mike Ford at second. Nobody out here for the Yankees in the 3rd.
And it was a different story when you're a right-handed pitcher on right-handed batters. You know, those are the ones you wanted to go more up and in to push them off. You wanted them to give a little bit, to flinch.
Here's the payoff pitch, and it's ball 4. The Yankees have had base runners in all 3 innings. Well, you heard Tony mention Mike Ford's walk-off home run. Let's hear what he has to say about it.
I think individually, it probably was my favorite moment, of the year. It was. I don't remember any of it. Weirdly, I remember everything after the water hit me, but not really running around the bases or anything. Individually, that was the peak moment.
Wow. Walk-off celebrations have taken on a life of their own in this day and age. Chris Gittens will take a strike. He's up there with 2 on. And nobody out here in the 3rd inning. Yankees threatening. They're down by a run. Gittens struck out with the bases loaded in the 1st inning. A ball and a strike.
What's that feel like, Kenny? I mean, you hit a home run and the game's over. You just won the game.
Yeah. You start searching for your car keys. It's time to go if you're a fan.
Keep thinking of that famous Chris Chambliss home run where Howard Cosell jumps all over Keith Jackson.
swing and a miss. You know, you think of the famous walk-off home run, Joe Carter's in the World Series.
Yeah. Touch them all, Joe.
Yeah, you'll never hit a bigger home run. That's something you dream of when you're a kid in the backyard, hitting a walk-off home run to win the World Series. That is high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Aaron Boone had one of those.
Yeah, he did.
Send the Yankees to the World Series.
Yeah.
That was voted, really, over the last 20 years, the #1 Yankee moment. Was the Aaron Boone home run off of Tim Wakefield.
Well, of course, it came against the Red Sox, too. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now, I know it wasn't a walk-off, but Bucky Dent's home run had to be up there as well. Full count. Really don't expect the runners to be going here. They're not. 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed, and Gittens has struck out for the second time this afternoon.
The right fielder, number 74, Zach Challow.
Get another look at the pitch. Just off the plate with a fastball, and Gittens reaching. A little tardy.
A little late, and you know, you see the well-disciplined hitters like a Wade Boggs. They know that's not a strike, and they're on base.
It almost looked like he was just trying to fight it off to stay alive.
Here's Zach Granite. Granite drew a walk and scored the Yankee run in the second inning. Ball gets away from John Ryan Murphy, and the runners will advance. Ford goes to third, and moving down to second is Iannetta. Right away, you heard the Yankee bench react. Not as many, you know, we got a good crowd here on hand, but it's not like the big league season. You can actually hear the coaches and the players on the bench.
You see catchers doing that nowadays. They're so conscious of framing that low pitch that, you know, he almost played himself into a pass ball there, trying to steal a strike.
Infield is in for the Pirates, and that is a strike, and it's 1-1. Granite, a non-roster invitee from Staten Island, New York, still makes his home there. Little number foul. Ball and 2 strikes. Went to Seton Hall. So a local product.
You know, brought in his outfield depth, and all of a sudden, you know, the non-roster outfielders that are in camp, you started taking another look at a little bit. The Yankees really only have 3 major league outfielders that are true outfielders here in camp.
Low 1-2, and that will even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. All of a sudden, you move up the totem pole, and you might stick around a little longer in camp if you show some signs.
Now, Florial is in camp and on the major league roster, but really hasn't played much above A ball at this point in his career. So,
and Granite does have some major league experience with the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, these guys are getting another look.
Good swing there, and fouls it back to the screen. Count holds at 2-2. Ken Singleton today, along with David Cohn and Meredith Marakovitz. We all made it safely to Bradenton. Next pitch. Ooh, just off the corner, and the count is full at 3-2. I assume you all came across the bridge, right?
Yes, saw the windsurfers out, and another look there. Oh boy, where John Ryan Murphy tried to steal it. Could have gone either way.
Isn't that a beautiful structure? Sunshine Skyline
Yeah,
Bridge.
it's gorgeous. It was windy up top there coming over it.
Yeah, it was. Here's the payoff pitch, and it's popped up, and it's going to be out of play. Now, Coney, I've been around long enough. There used to be a bridge before that one, but tankers and ships used to run into it so often that it became kind of dangerous. So they built the new structure. It's a lot higher. And as I was coming over here today, there was a big tanker going underneath it. Back in the day, in the fog, there might have been some trouble.
Have those big long fishing piers too. You can pull over on the side.
Fouled off by Granite. Here we go. There's our look from our bridge cam. The Sunshine Skyway Bridge. And back in the day, the other bridge was a lot lower, and those, what you saw before, people fishing, that was part of the old bridge. For $1.50, you can get over that bridge. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled off. Granite putting on a heck of an at-bat here. So not only did they build a new bridge, they made it aesthetically pleasing.
Gorgeous.
Yep. Once again, the 3-2 pitch. Look out, it's inside and the bases are loaded. So for the second time in 3 innings, the Yankees have loaded the bases against the Pirate pitching. Well, anytime a Pirate loads the bases, we're going to get a new pitcher. Derek Shelton making the change. We are back. New pitcher for the Pirates is Michael Feliz, and he comes into a tough situation. Bases loaded and 1 out. Thairo Estrada flied out to very deep center field his first time up. Here he is with a chance to get the Yankees on the scoreboard again. They trail 2-1. Here's a pitch, and it's way upstairs for a ball. Ball and a strike. Here's Michael Feliz. That's what he did last year. Made just 1 start.
Got a big arm and big time strikeout numbers.
73 strikeouts and 56 in the 3rd innings. I see what you mean, Coney. That's over the corner. And it's 1-2 on Estrada. Yankees looking for the big hit here. Pitch is fouled back. Now Feliz originally was signed by the Houston Astros as a free agent, but he was part of the deal that saw Garrett Cole go from the Pirates to Houston. 4 players in that deal, including Feliz, for Garrett Cole. Good stop by John Ryan Murphy. And the count will level at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, the Yankees were trying to get Cole in a deal with Pittsburgh, but the Pirates came up with 4 players that Houston more to their liking. And you can see Feliz he has a good arm.
Those kind of trades are franchise altering. And if you do that on the back of trading for Chris Archer and who they gave up, really changed the direction of their franchise.
Full count. This afternoon, the Pirate pitchers are having trouble throwing strikes. They've walked 6 Yankees so far in 3 innings.
If you know who the Rays got for Chris Archer, you know the story.
Ooh, yeah. Austin Meadows.
Glass now.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Big time fastball from Feliz. Strikes out Estrada.
The second baseman, number 76.
Watch the long arm delivery, full extension with his arm, and then the high heater.
That might have been a ball.
Above the zone.
So now there are 2 down, and it'll bring up Kyle Holder, who had a base hit his first time up.
Kind of what you call, Kenny, a long arm delivery in terms of his arm action. Really full extension, reaching back and then letting it go.
Drops it down behind near his belt, then comes around and fires. Ball 1 to Holder. Popped up. The shortstop Newman called off, I should say the third baseman called off, and Newman will make the play. So that'll do it. Yankees leave the bases loaded, and they trail 2-1.
Till the regular season starts, what else do you need to focus on between now and then to make sure you're ready for opening day?
You know, it's kind of time when you start playing a little bit longer, getting a couple more at bats. You know, it's nice too. The pitchers start to stretch out a little bit, so you know, start to see maybe a guy a couple times instead of just once. But you know, this is just when you know you kind of have started to shake the cobwebs off and really you know ramp up the intensity, ramp up the focus, and kind of carry that in the season.
How have you felt since you've been building yourself up to play more and more innings?
You know, it's felt good. You know, it was. Guys are throwing a lot harder early in spring than they used to, but no, it's been good, you know, to see velocity early, and you know, it's been just good to get out there in the outfield and run around, and you know, kind of just check off all those boxes you need to check off and you want to see yourself do a couple times. So it's been good.
You mentioned that outfield. There are some guys that are injured in your outfield right now, and Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. Do you feel any added pressure to make sure you are ready to go, knowing that those guys likely will not be opening day?
No, not really. You know, in spring training, my job's just to prepare myself to be available to play every single day. So, you know, stuff like that doesn't really change the preparation. You know, obviously those guys are huge parts of our team, so you just want them to get healthy and, you know, get back to doing what they do, which is, you know, play really good baseball.
Last year, you got the most consistent time you've probably had in the big leagues playing. What did you learn about yourself out there?
It's just, you know, it was great just kind of getting an opportunity to kind of fall into that everyday routine, and you know, you can kind of just start to see, you know, you make adjustments a little bit quicker when you have at-bats every day, and, you know, kind of see how pitchers and teams and stuff are going to try to, you know, pitch you, and, you know, that just kind of gives you a little bit of freedom to play your own, you know, brand of baseball, I guess.
How do you build off those positive at-bats from a season ago?
You just, you know, I think you get in trouble sometimes, maybe searching for past feelings, so, you know, just try to be mindful of the work that I'm doing and do the things that I, you know, think give me the best chance to, you know, have quality at-bats and play good defense.
Mike, thanks for the time.
Thanks.
All right, we are back. That was Mike Tauchman, who's in center field this afternoon for the Yankees, along with Meredith on the field prior to the ball game. New pitcher for the Yankees is Nick Nelson. And Nelson struck out Luke Mailey to start the inning. Now Jared Dyson, top of the order once again for the Pirates. Dyson now facing Nick Nelson. You saw his numbers, pitched at 3 levels last year, the Yankees minor league system. Right-hander from Panama City, Florida. That pitch is inside. Ball 3-0 to Dyson. Nick Nelson was 7-2 at Trenton in 12 starts with a 2.38 ERA. So he jumped up to AAA from there. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and that is in there for a call strike to Dyson.
He's in line, in a pretty long line of young guns that the Yankees have. Up and down the organization, really a lot of big arms.
24 years old, 4th-round pick in 2016 for the Yankees. That pitch is fouled back, and now the count is full at 3-2 as Nelson has fought his way back from a 3-0 count. Mentioned young man from Florida, northern Florida, Panama City, up there in the Panhandle. Here's the payoff pitch. Dyson checks the swing and takes it inside for a ball. And the speedy Gerard Dyson will head down to first base.
The shortstop, number 27, Kevin Newton.
Now pitchers will throw more in the bullpen. Try and strengthen their arms even more, even after they come out of ball games.
Probably trying to get up to 50 to 60 pitches total.
They did want him to get up to 40 to 45 today, we've been told.
We got pretty close to that in the game.
Runner goes. Dyson, great speed. The ball is hit through the hole. Dyson turns at second and will head to third as Kevin Newman fills the hole as the Pirates run the hit and run to perfection. That's kind of a lost art in this day and age.
And a great shot of it from our overhead camera, and you can see second baseman vacates the hole. Ball goes through the hole.
So Newman picks up his first hit. How about the Pirates have a Newman and a Kramer in their lineup today? Here's Adam Frazier. And he takes inside, throw to first. And hello, Newman. Chris Iannetta trying to pick Newman off of first base.
Great shot. I mean, you get a chance to get a quick out here from a veteran catcher. Smart play.
Pirates threatening in their half of the third inning. They already have the lead at 2-1. There's one out. Runs at first and third. Yankees looking for the double play if they can get it. Pitch to Frazier, which was another good show back in the day. That's inside for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes on Adam Frazier. Check on the runner. Pitch is grounded foul. Tarek Brock, the first base coach, retrieves.
Classic black and gold jersey top.
Yeah. Had nightmares thinking about the Pittsburgh Pirates. And the pitch. Hit hard on the ground. The play is going to be at the plate as Ford comes home. Dyson's in a rundown. The throw to the pitcher covering, and now they have 2 Pirates at third. Dyson is tagged out. So what might have been a double play ball, Mike Ford made sure he's going to get at least 1 out and keep a run from scoring. So Dyson is out on the fielder's choice.
And on Dyson's side of it, great job. Once you're stuck here and he's so fast, you're not going to catch him. So he just spends the time and lets both base runners move up.
So now the Pirates will have runners at second and third with 2 outs. As the pitcher, Nelson, makes the put out. That'll bring up Josh Bell, the cleanup hitter.
And Dyson would have been a nightmare in the old hot box game we used to play back in the day in the little leagues. A rundown play, you can never catch him.
Josh Bell, the big hitter for the Pirates a year ago, 116 runs batted in. Second and third and 2 outs. Big swing and he fouls it back for a strike. You know, Josh Bell, the Yankees actually go to PNC Park this year. They'll play the Pirates in Pittsburgh, 2 in New York, and 2 games in Pittsburgh. And there's a changeup and no swing, and it's a ball and a strike. Every once in a while, you see a Pirate highlight, and you see Josh Bell hitting a ball into the river. They're the RBI leaders in the National League a year ago. Anthony Rendon, now of the Angels, the league leader with 126. Swing and a miss on a good fastball from Nelson.
Yeah, it was Josh Bell, just a scorching first half last year.
Yeah, he kind of faded in the second half. At one time, they thought he might break the all-time Pirate record of runs batted in. I think it's 131 or 100 in the 130s. Foul tip. Of Iannetta, and that'll do it. Nelson comes up with a big pitch to strike out Bell. Enjoy significant savings. Your legacy starts now with the 2020 season tickets. Call 212-YANKEES or email seasontickets@yankees.com. Should be an exciting season in the Bronx. or wherever the Yankees go. 2-1. Pirates leading, top of the 4th inning. And it's back to the top of the order for the Yankees. Mike Tauchman making his 3rd appearance in 4 innings. He's walked, struck out, and we're facing a new pitcher, Richard Rodriguez. 63 strikeouts and 65 in the 3rd inning. He's allowed a hit per inning. Appeared in 72 games last year. Pirates signed him as a free agent. Here's the pitch to Tauchman, and he fouls the first pitch out and out of play for strike 1. The Yankees actually picked Tauchman up about this time last year from the Rockies in a deal. And I bet you little did he know at the time that he'd play such a major part with the Yankees.
Kenny, at that point, he didn't even think he was going to be in the big leagues. When he was called into the office, he thought he was being sent down. Little did he know he was being traded. And then when he found out he was not only being traded, but to the New York Yankees, he was almost in a little bit of disbelief. After that, he said everything just happened so quickly. Luckily, his wife was in town. She was able to pack up their entire apartment, but he needed to go meet the team. So it took a while for it to really settle in that he was going to be on the field for opening day with the Yankees. As we know, the first time he was called up, struggled a little bit offensively, but went down to the minors, worked on some things, and got more and more comfortable every time he was up thereafter, and really proved to be an asset in the batter's box and defensively as the season progressed.
Yeah, we see him in center field today. He played multiple games in left field, mostly in left field, but played all over the outfield.
And Kenny, that's one of the most valuable things about him. David, you talked a lot about how there aren't that many true outfielders on the roster right now. Mike Tauchman is one of those guys, and they feel comfortable putting him in left, right, or center, giving Aaron Boone just a little bit more flexibility out there.
And of course, it's not a bad thing to have a left-handed hitter at Yankee Stadium.
Well, he graded out so well on all the defensive metrics, and here's one of those metrics: most defensive runs saved, and 16. Aaron Judge up there with 19. Elite company.
Fouls another pitch off. Count remains at 3-2. I'm thinking of a catch he made in Baltimore to rob somebody of a home run at Camden Yards. Leaped up against the wall, reached over. Fan head was ready to make the catch. Thought he had a souvenir, and Tauchman said, "Not tonight." Payoff pitch, hit high in the air to center field. Dyson shielding his eyes. The glasses are on, and he'll make the catch. Well, let's go back to Camden Yards, and here is a look at that catch. Oh yeah! Not only took it away from a fan, it was a Yankee fan. Good play by Tauchman. Tremendous play. That looked like. You see his reaction. I think it was Pedro Severino, the catcher. Here's Gio Urshela. Urshela has grounded out and had an infield single. And that slider hits the outside corner for a call strike. Well, that was you saw Tauchman's reaction. I think there were 2 or 3 men on base at the time. Well, the countdown is on till opening day. That pitch is outside for a ball, and the Yankees will open at Camden Yards in Baltimore this year, March 26th. A 3-game series. And then they'll head down south here to play the Rays. Swing and a miss, a ball and 2 strikes. Talking to Derek Shelton before the game. The Pirates open the season against Tampa Bay, so they'll be in there just before the Yankees. Call strike 3. Urshela caught looking. So 2 up and 2 down against Richard Rodriguez here in the 4th inning.
John Ryan Murphy wants it right there, and he got it right there. Catcher sets up like that and you hit the target more times than not, you're going to get that call.
Oh, because of non-movement of the glove.
Yes.
Yeah.
The umpire follows along, sees it the whole way.
Here's Andujar. Strike one. A walk. And Andujar has also reached on a fielder's choice. Senor Lina, Mr. Line Drive. Strike two, 0-2. Ball is hit in the air to right field. Polanco went back, now comes in as the wind gets a hold of it and makes the running catch. And the Yankees go 1-2-3. We come back. We'll be speaking with the Yankee manager, Aaron. The Yankees trail 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. We want to welcome manager Aaron Boone. Aaron, can you hear us?
There you go. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm up here with Coney, and Meredith is with us as well. There's a pitch in there for his call strike to Polanco. What'd you think of Loaiza's outing today?
I thought he was pretty good. You know, he really worked on establishing his changeup and threw it a lot. Threw some good ones. Threw some ones I thought were a little bit flat. And then obviously, you know, I think probably wish he would have gone to a breaking ball there with Ryan. John Ryan Murphy there with that 2 strikes ahead in the count, just right down the middle, and then they caught him. So, but overall I thought pretty good, and another good step for him moving forward. He finished up with, I think, another 17 or so in the pen to get his pitch count up to about 45.
Yeah, Murphy has 3 hits this spring. All 3 are home runs.
Yeah.
David and I were talking about this young man on the mound right now, Nick Nelson. He's showing us a big arm.
Yeah, he's clearly got a big arm, you know. I mean, it's, you know, refining the command a little bit, you know, and 3 pitches, you know, fastball, breaking ball, a changeup, they all play, but it's just a matter of really tightening it up and being able to, you know, consistently get ahead in the count, because when he's doing that, then he can be special.
You know, not to change the subject right here, and we'll talk a little bit about the injuries, a ground ball foul. The situation last year, I mean, the team battled through it, won 103 games, win the division pretty easily, and you would think all that's behind you. Now, how does this wear on a manager to, you know, see players go down time and time again?
Well, I don't know that it wears on me. You know, I kind of hurt for the individual guys, you know, and obviously in a lot of cases, guys we're missing right now, or in Sevy's case, losing. I mean, these are obviously important guys to our club, you know. So, but in the immediate, you know, I just kind of feel for them and hurt for them and want them to get right, because I know how bad they all want to get back out on the field. But, you know, our message is constantly, it doesn't matter what you throw at us, what adversity comes our way, the expectation never changes, and it's because of the confidence we have in the people in our room across the board. And so we keep moving on, and no matter what you throw at us, we're gonna come to compete with an expectation that we're coming out to beat you.
Do you find you have to voice that to the team, or is that something they know themselves or have learned since last year?
You know, it's something we talk about at the start of spring training last year. It's a message I try and instill at the start of spring training this year, and then throughout the year. You know, the message when I'm talking to you guys or when I'm talking to the media every day, you know, there's never any woe is us or feeling bad for ourselves. We have to pick up the slack and pick up the pieces, and we know, you know, not just because we're giving it lip service, but because we have a lot of confidence in the depth that we've developed here over the last couple of years.
Yeah, Aaron, do you feel comfortable with who you have in camp for the outfield coverage, or more specifically, maybe even some of the non-roster guys that are true outfielders? Are they getting a second look now?
Well, I do. You know, obviously with Guardy and Talkman, we have 2 guys that are, you know, tremendous outfielders. Frage, who, you know, I feel like continues to mature and develop. Miggy, we like what we've seen so far with him out in left field. You know, we might even flirt with moving him over to right field just to give us some of that flexibility. You know, a guy like Herrera's really opened our eyes. Zach Granite's done a nice job coming in. So, you know, we feel like we've got pretty good depth, and then obviously with the hope that Giancarlo won't be long, and the same with Aaron. So, and then you get Hicks back at some point in the season. So, you know, we've hit a little adversity and some things we got to deal with, but we feel like, you know, we're equipped to handle it.
Now you're going into your 3rd year as a Yankee manager here, and I don't think I've asked you this question before. I don't know if anybody's asked you this question. Is it everything you thought it would be being a major league manager?
I can tell you I love it. You know, as corny as it sounds, like, I love working for this organization. It's a special thing to be a part of. You know, from the Steinbrenner family to Cash, the front office, the staff I get to work with, and then the players that I've inherited or that have come in along the way. It's just people you want to go to work with every single day. And, so no matter what comes up in the season, and look, there's days when it's hard and there's a lot going on and there's things you can't necessarily account for. There's weeks where it's a grind and it's tough. But I can honestly say I've loved every bit of it, and you know, look forward to hoping to be a part of bringing another championship home.
Well, you must have loved that play by your third baseman who stayed with that play.
Yeah.
Urshela.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Getting it a double play. John Ryan Murphy coming up with 2 outs and nobody on. Now, who's going to follow Nelson today? Is it Tropiano who's going to go?
Let me see here. Let me check my trusty old. It could be, I think, Tropiano. We could go to one of our relievers and Lyons or Holder first.
Okay.
Or Otero, but I got to check with the boss over here, Mr. Blake, and what exact order he wants to go in.
Ground ball to third. This looks like it's going to be it. Aaron, we want to thank you for stopping by and talking to us once again. And yeah, it might be a little different, but things are working out for you very well.
Thanks, Inge. Thanks, Coney. See you guys.
Pirates leading 2-1 into 4. Yankees be coming up in the 5th. It's along with up to the moment stats. You got standings, news, and more. Get the #1 app for live baseball. Download MLB today. New pitcher for the Pirates as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Dovydas Neverauskas will come in and do the pitching for Pittsburgh. Tall right-hander. And that's what he did. He had 10 strikeouts in 9 1/3, 7 walks. That's not too good, but he's got a big arm. We were watching him warm up. He'll face Mike Ford leading off for the Yankees here in the 5th.
You did not stumble a bit on that name. That was impressive.
Yeah, you know what? I saw that he was going to pitch today, and I must have said it about 15 times while I was sleeping. And Neverauskas' first pitch is in there for a call strike.
Just like you used to practice your swing in the mirror?
Yeah. Yeah. Golf swing now.
Yeah.
Here's Ford, who's walked and doubled. Yeah, he had a good swing, fouled that one off, and it's 0-2 from Neverauskas. Neverauskas born in Lithuania. And he gives up a hot shot. Nice backhand stop by Bell. Flips to Neverauskas. Neverauskas for the out. So Mike Ford hits another hot shot towards first. This one Bell handles. And there's one down. Neverauskas was signed as a non-drafted free agent. Here's Iannetta. He does not have an official at bat today. He's walked both trips. Swings at this one and fouls it off.
I love these spring training parks. I mean, the audio is tremendous.
Oh, yeah.
You hear the spikes on the dirt. Pop of the glove.
foul balls echo for an inning or two. Here's the 0-1 to Iannetta, and that's low and away from Neverakas, and it's a ball and a strike. Ball is hit high into inner left field. Kramer makes the catch, and there are 2 down.
The designated hitter, number 92.
And that Yankees signed him as a minor league free agent. He's got a lot of experience in the major leagues. Here's Gittins. Well, Iannetta had walked twice. Gittins has struck out twice. And he's up with 2 outs and nobody on. And the first pitch from Neverakas is in there for a call strike. Good slider swung on and missed. 0-2. Check out the Yankee bullpen. Yeah, that is Nick Tropiano. Looks like he'll be next out of the pen for the Yankees. Chris Gittins has the hat trick. 3 at bats, 3 strikeouts. No score for the Yankees here in the 5th. They trail 2-1.
Yeah, after a really difficult battle with cancer, and she really never gave in to it. Continued working. Was a real inspiration to the Yankees organization. One of 3, only 3 full-time female scouts in Major League Baseball. And shows you what kind of a trailblazer she really was.
Well, the females are starting to make more and more of an impression in Major League Baseball, and you know, even in the minor leagues. And Kelly certainly will be missed. Here we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. New pitcher is Nick Tropiano, and his first pitch. The Kramer's in there for a strike. This is what Tropiano has done so far this spring. He's pitched for Houston and the Angels in the major leagues. Look out, did it hit him? I guess not. Kramer did not react. Ball and a strike on the Pirates left fielder, a UCLA product. And he hits a high fly ball into short center field. Estrada now coming in a few steps, stays with it and makes the catch, and there's 1 out. Well, you can see how the infielders and outfielders today, they're fighting it. See Estrada's reaction. And high sky, sun, and the wind. Tropiano, a local product, New York area, from Long Island, West Islip to be exact, and went to Stony Brook. First pitch is outside to Luke Maile. There's a good breaking ball. The count evens at a ball and a strike. Tropiano still makes his home in that area of Long Island. Just outside, 2-1.
See, Tropiano really relies on rhythm and location. Very deliberate delivery.
If I'm pitching, where was that?
2 in a row.
Yeah.
Flirting with it.
Pitch is fouled back. You can see how he came a little bit more to the middle of the plate with that last pitch. That's something you don't want to do. You want to get that call from the umpire so you can stay out there. Full count on the number 9 hitter Luke Maile, who has struck out his lone at bat this afternoon. He has struck out in both at bats this afternoon. Nice comeback from Tropiano to pick up out number 2 here in the 5th inning.
Good movement. 3-2. Let's throw the two-seamer down the middle. It runs down and in to the inside corner and gets the swing over.
Here's Jerron Dyson, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Next pitch, and that's in there for a strike, 1-1. David, I wanted to get into quickly here, you know, some of the new rules. The 3-batter minimum for a relief pitcher. I'm not fully on board with that.
There's been some mixed reviews so far from managers across the board.
Next pitch to Dyson, and a swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch, and it's 1-2.
You know, the domino effect, potentially, how managers construct their lineups. You don't have to worry about the specialist lefty.
Lone inside to it. There are a lot of guys who made a decent living being that second lefty out of the bullpen to come and face one hitter, and that's gone.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, if you're a manager, you don't have to worry about that when you make out your lineup on a daily basis. Potentially intentional walks could be up this year, and that's been dwindling dramatically over the last several years.
Ball is fouled off and out of play.
So rather than a specialist lefty, you might just see, okay, let's just walk that big lefty. Because you've got to leave that right-handed reliever in, or vice versa.
It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I'm not so sure about that one. I know they're trying to speed up games and all that sort of thing, but you know, too much tinkering could be a bad thing if you don't think of the consequences that you're setting up. Here's a 2-2 pitch, and Dyson checks his swing, but it's in there for call, strike 3. So Nick Tropiano works a quick 1-2-3, bottom to 5th. It's on to the 6th inning with the Pirates in front. Bottom of the top of the 6th inning, I should say, as the Yankees are trailing by a score of 2-1. We talked about the rule changes. Here's one 26-man roster through August 31st, and for postseason, a maximum of 13 pitchers. 28-man roster in September, maximum of 14 pitchers. I like that one. So you play evenly. Cody Ponce is a new pitcher for the Pirates. It's high, ball 1. 3-batter minimum. We already talked that. We don't like that one. Time on IL for pitchers. Two-way players increased to 15 days. And managers' time to challenge a play reduced from 30 seconds to 20 seconds to move things along. Anything strike your fancy there, Coney, besides the 3-batter minimum?
Well, as an old player association guy, I think the 26-man roster is a big get. An extra job. It's a lot of big league jobs for guys like Mike Ford or even Luke Voigt. If you think about all the guys that have paid their dues in AAA that can't seem to break through on a roster, and if you look at the benches over the last several years, there's usually only been about 3 position players.
Yeah.
So a lot of short benches will be alleviated to some extent.
Zach Granite with a fly ball to left field, and Kramer makes the play, and there's 1 out. You know, players like Tyler Wade, you know, all of a sudden you're not going back and forth to the minor leagues. Here's Tyro Estrada.
The IL, the injured reserve list, going back to 15 days is a big deal, especially with regard to pitchers. We've seen the Scranton shuttle a lot over the last several years. That's going to be harder to do nowadays.
Estrada takes a call strike.
And so many times we've seen a reliever that's kind of caught in the middle that will go out in extra innings and pitch 3 or 4 innings, and he just knows, no matter how well he pitches, that he's going to be sent out after the game.
0-2 on Estrada.
So that shuttle is going to be shut down a bit.
Estrada in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Checks his swing. That's low and away for a ball. Starters are going a little further into ball games now. The Yankees had a night game last night in Tampa against Baltimore, and you figured you weren't going to get the full squad this afternoon. So these guys are going to be in there for a while. Swing and a miss, and Estrada has struck out for the 2nd time today.
The second baseman, number 76, Kyle Holder.
Ponce making his 4th appearance of the spring.
Come on, Kyle!
And this is the first time he's actually pitched in a home game. He's pitched in Clearwater, Sarasota, and Dunedin. Here's Kyle Holder. Has a base hit, popped out. He's 1 for 2. There's a call strike. 94 miles an hour. Jumps ahead, no balls and 2 strikes as Holder fouls the pitch off. Ponce came to the Pirates from the Brewers in a trade for pitcher Jordan Lyles, who's done a pretty good job for Milwaukee.
It's a big spring for Ponce. It's about time for him to break on through. It's been the last couple years in AA and AAA.
55-footer, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Can't say the Yankees did not have their opportunities. They left the bases loaded in the 1st inning, left 2 men on in the 2nd, left the bases loaded in the 3rd. And all they got out of that is just 1 run. Just nub foul at the home plate area. Two and 2. Not to give it away, but we've got a big week coming up this week, Tony. We got to, film our Yes promos, which had been last year was what, the Buzz in the Bronx. Off the glove of Newman and into center field for a base hit. So Holder has his 2nd hit of the afternoon.
The center fielder, number 39, Mike Topman.
So we usually have a lot of fun taping those promos that start at the beginning of the season or just before the season begins. So I'm looking forward to it. Remember the yoga? Yeah, that was
Yoga class was the first one. Yeah.
Each one seems to get a little better than the last one, so I'm kind of looking forward to this one. We can't give away the plot yet, though. Back to the top of the order, and Mike Topman. And the first pitch from Ponce is outside for ball 1. Topman's looking for his first hit of the afternoon. He is 0 for 3. Holder's got decent speed over there. He might be thinking about second base, not going. There's a call strike to Topman, and it's 1-1. And while we're down here in spring training, we have a chance to meet a lot of fans on vacation from up north, and that was certainly the case today. A number of Yankee fans in attendance.
We're going to spring forward on the clock here, aren't we?
Yeah.
The next day or 2?
Isn't that tonight?
Tonight.
Tony, don't be late.
Get another hour of golf.
Yeah, 1 hour less of sleep, though. The 1-1 to Tachman, and it's in there for a call strike. As mentioned, we meet a lot of baseball fans and Yankee fans in particular here in Bradenton area. And a lady named Kelly today. She wanted me to say hello to her dad, Jack Brand, who is watching in Albany, New York today. Big time Yankee fan. So hello, Jack, from your daughter Kelly. Tachman fouls this one over towards the Pirates dugout. And of course, spring break is almost upon us, and that means the beaches around here will be filling up. Maybe not on a day like today, but next week the temperatures are supposed to get back up near 80 degrees. So all the youngsters will be flying in, college students flying in from mainly the East Coast colleges. Check on Holder at first, back easily. Tachman fouls another pitch off. You know a rule that they're thinking about? Did you hear about this, Cody? That a pitcher has to step off the rubber before he can throw to any base.
Yeah, some experimental rules that are going to be incorporated in the minor leagues this year that were tried out in the Independent Atlantic League last year. It's going to be in the Florida State League right here.
Now, didn't they say stolen bases were up because of it?
Yes, very much. You could think right now that Kyle Holder would get even more of a lead.
You see right there the way that Ponce threw over the first base. He didn't have to disengage from the mound and then throw the. See, he would have to take his right foot off the rubber and then throw.
You'd have to step off the rubber and then pivot to throw. And in particular, left-handed pitchers could no longer do that hang Andy Pettitte type move.
Tachman fouls another pitch off, and the count remains a ball and 2 strikes.
I'm not sure that one ever reaches the major leagues, but it is in the experimental pipeline right now.
I read that the other day, and I was thinking, man, that might have added another 2 or 3 stolen bases to my overall career. That'd have been a whole different ball player.
Also, the electronic strike zone are going to be implemented too in the Florida State League this year for the first time in organized baseball. Certainly.
Did you see
on the affiliated side?
Did you see that machine at Steinbrenner Field? That's the machine next to our booth. It's going to call the balls and strikes. Number foul off the bat of Tachman. I don't know about that one either.
I'm not sure the technology is anywhere near perfected enough to be on the major league level, but you do get the sense that
it's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah. Cody Ponce, the 5th, make that 6th Pirate pitcher of the afternoon. That would take away some of those block moves that the right-handers had, but flexing the left knee. Of course, they never had to use that on me. I wasn't going anywhere.
Imagine how many bases Ricky Henderson would have stolen had that rule been around then.
Tachman, nub foul. I read something the other day that Ricky stole 3rd base in his career 322 times. And I think he has something like 500 or 600 more steals than the next guy on the all-time list. To me, he's one of the top 15 players of all time.
Easily. You go back and look at his numbers, especially through some of the new metrics that we have nowadays. It is just incredible, his overall body of work.
The pitch, foul tipped, and Tachman keeps the at-bat going. Now, Ricky, of course, played for the Yankees. One year he missed a month of the season. Played 143 games, and scored 146 runs. Just phenomenal numbers.
Speaking from experience as a pitcher, when he was on first base, it was just put me out of my misery. Go ahead and go, because I had no chance to ever pick you off or throw you out.
Yeah, he was playing later in my career as I was getting towards the end. Ricky was coming up, and he was just a royal pain in the butt. When he got on base, you knew he was going to end up at third. Inside, the ball gets away. No advance by Holder at first. There was a story about Ricky. He gets to first base. He looks over at the third baseman and holds up 2 fingers. And the third baseman couldn't figure it out. 2 pitches later, Ricky was on third. Holder's not going. The pitch to Tauchman is hit hard, but right at the third baseman, Gonzalez. And that'll do it. The Yankees will leave a runner. We come back. We're going to hear from Yankee left fielder Miguel Andujar.
Playing in the outfield, how would you evaluate yourself so far out there in left field?
Muchos de los coaches han hablado muchísimas cosas buenas de tu habilidad de física, jugando todas las bases, especialmente el outfield. ¿Cómo te has sentido? ¿Cómo te sientes físicamente jugando esas diferentes posiciones?
De verdad que me siento bien contento de la oportunidad que se me está dando ahora mismo aquí, de jugar a otras posiciones, y a la verdad que lo disfruto al máximo, y gracias a Dios lo que estamos haciendo en la práctica está dando resultados en el juego hasta ahora, y esperamos que siga así la cosa.
It's been great, to have the opportunity to play all the different positions I've been playing. It's been great. It's an opportunity in itself. Everything we're doing in practice has been working out, and that's what I've been trying to do in game action.
Has there been any part of it that's been a challenge?
Algo que ha sido un poquito difícil, ajustarse, o tal vez no difícil, pero que ha sido diferente.
Algo diferente porque ya llevo 8 años, 9 años aquí en la organización y siempre he jugado una sola posición, y ahora estoy jugando otra posición, pero a la misma vez me siento bien porque se ha dado bien los resultados y en el juego.
Well, just playing different position, right? I've played third base for, I believe, about 8 years now, and to be playing a different position, that's a challenge itself, to adjust to a new position. But at the same time, I'm excited about it. Everything we've been working on has been a progress, and I've seen that, and it's what I do in the games,
What did you think of playing first?
¿Cómo tuvo ese experimento ahí en primera base? ¿Cómo te sentiste?
De verdad fue bien. Un poco diferente, pero a la misma vez bien, y fue mi primer juego y nada, esperando la otra oportunidad para seguir jugando.
It was great, of course, different, right? Different from being there on the other side of the field, but felt good, excited about it and waiting for the next opportunity to play there.
I want to thank Miguel Andujar and the interpreter, Marlon Abreu, as Miguel is checking out that card that all outfielders seem to have in their back pocket now as to where to play it, even in spring training now.
Word is that he got a jump start on the outfield work, and Meredith talked about this before as well. Even before the Yankees went to him, he had an outfielder's glove in the Dominican this offseason. Now when you hear Aaron Boone talk about it, it's almost like a foregone conclusion. He's going to play the outfield. Obviously, the injuries are pushing that to the forefront right now. But no talk of options or getting more experience in AAA.
Hot shot by Mike Ford. Rounding second, on his way to third is the pinch runner, and he is speeding home. Here comes the throw, and he's in there safely, and the Pirates lead 3-1. Jason Martin was the pinch runner for Josh Bell. And they made the right choice when they put him in the run.
Once that ball got hung up down the line, this guy's going to score with those wheels.
He had like a Olympic sprinter style. I mean, the hands coming up short near. Yankees have made a few changes here in the outfield. Zach Zahner is now in right field, and Brandon Lockridge is in center field. And Josh Tolley is now doing the catching. So the Pirates score a run with 2 outs against Nick Tropiano here in the 6th inning, and now have taken a 2-run lead. Pinch runner is O'Neill Cruz. As some of the starters begin to leave the ball game, this pitch is line foul on the right field side. Eric Gonzalez is the hitter. He is grounded short and hit to around a horn double play. Fans, this copyright telecast is presented by the authority of New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of New York Yankees. I feel so good when I do that for the first time each spring. Just it feels like we're back in the swing of things. The disclaimer. Check swing, and where was that? Maybe a little low.
Feels like a lawyer wrote that thing back in 1930, right? It hasn't changed a bit.
You would think after all these years I got it memorized, you know.
Kennesaw Mountain Landis' lawyer wrote that.
Pitch to Gonzalez off the end of the bat, foul down the first base side. Just missed himself an extra base hit. Here's another look at it. Squibbed off the end of the bat. Tell you what, Mike Ford's had a busy day over at first base. They've been some rockets down his way. Pirates are up 3-1. They scored 2 in the second, 1 more here in the 6th. Good stop by Josh Tolley, and it's ball 4. Gonzalez will head to first base. So the Pirates will have 2 on and 2 outs for John Ryan Murphy.
The catcher, number 18, John Ryan Murphy.
Murphy provided the Pirates with their first 2 runs, a 2-run home run in the 2nd inning. As we mentioned before, he's had 3 hits this spring. All 3 are home runs. Making a bid to be the backup catcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates this year. Tropiano trying to work out of it here in the 6th. Slider hangs a little bit high for ball 1.
Through no fault of their own, and you know this, Kenny, that some players you just get linked with another player for life. And every time you think about John Ryan Murphy, you're going to think about Aaron Hicks.
Yeah.
In that trade.
Ball is hit well in left field. Going back and making the play is Miguel Andujar, looking very good in the outfield of Zach Levine and the Chicago Bulls. Coverage begins at 2:30 with the FanDuel Sportsbook pregame right here on Yes. Now earlier today the Nets parted ways with head coach Kenny Atkinson. Tomorrow's pregame will cover that. 2:30 we'll have all the details. All right, on to the 7th inning. On the Ford scoreboard, it's Pittsburgh 3 and the Yankees 1. Cody Ponce is still in there. Gio Urshela take his 4th at bat. here in the 7th inning. He does have a hit in 3 tries.
So Kenny Atkinson gets fired before he gets a chance to coach Kevin Durant.
Jacques Vaughn, remember the point guard from Kansas?
Yes.
He's now the interim coach of the Nets. Ball is popped up in the infield. Who's going to make the play here? Shortstop Cruz makes the play. Speaking of NBA, Cruz, 6'7" shortstop. If he gets to the big leagues, he'll be the tallest shortstop in history. Hanging with it. And of course, he'll be able to reach those pop-ups before any other shortstop ever could.
He's one of their top prospects, and they think he can stick.
Here's Andujar, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. All right, the Pirates have made a lot of changes. You got Elmore in left, Martin in center, Brado in right. And you got Cruz, as you have seen, at short. Kramer has moved to second. Craig is now at first. Hayes is at third.
It's the future left side of their infield here. 2 top prospects.
Yeah.
Hayes, the son of former Yankee Charlie Hayes.
Brian Hayes had a big home run yesterday, his first of the spring. And it's in there for a strike to Andujar. Now, one thing I've heard about Hayes, he is one of the best fielding prospects in Major League Baseball. And I think he's won like 3 minor league gold gloves as a third baseman from Texas. And Andujar pulls it foul.
Well, that stands to reason his father could pick it at third.
Yeah. His father will be known as catching the final out in the 1996 World Series. Pop-up foul as the Yankees storm back from a 2-0 deficit to win 4 in a row against the Atlanta Braves. Coney, you're a big part of that. I'll always remember Joe Torre walking out to the mound, looking you in the eye.
Well, it really was. I mean, Charlie Hayes was a pickup that year that really helped us at third base, and kind of a platoon with Wade Boggs, who was towards the end of his career there, and of course a big trade for Cecil Fielder as well in '96. And those 2 players in particular really got us over the hump.
In the dirt. 2-2 on Andujar. He's got. Turn this way. Look. That's his dad's number 13. Here's a pitch. Andujar hits it high in the air. Who's going to make the play here? Here comes the left fielder, Elmore. It's going to be Cruz, the shortstop, who much taller. He makes the play. 2 down. Here it is. This is it. John Wetland delivers. Hayes has it. The Yankees are the world champions. It broke a long drought. There's Wade Boggs, the aforementioned Wade Boggs, riding the horse around Yankee Stadium, old Yankee Stadium. Memories. Mike Ford's 1 for 2 with a double, and he'll take a pitch for a strike. Coney, that's got to be sweet looking at that video, huh?
It's even sweeter having a ring.
This ball's hit well in left field, twisting away from Elmore. He can't get it. Ball is into the corner. 1 hops over the fence, and Mike Ford has his 2nd double of the game. This guy can hit. We're going to get a pinch runner.
He can. He always has. His profile in the minor leagues is carried over to the major leagues, and that's just really nice bat work there.
And we're going to get a new pitcher for the Pirates as Mike Ford's double has knocked Ponce out of the game. We'll be back with more. There's 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. The Yankees are down by 2. And that's what he did in the minor leagues last year. 2-2, 1.46. As he will face Josh Tolley with his first at bat of the afternoon. He'll take a pitch for a call strike. Tolley took over for Chris Iannetta. Scoring opportunity for the Yankees here in the 7th inning. Big swing and a miss. 0-2. Watching somebody swing that hard now just makes me hurt a little bit. You know, just looks like Jonathan Holder out there in the Yankee pen. There it is. O'Reilly didn't waste much time. That's it. Picks up the 3rd out here in the top of the 7th. Time for the 7th inning stretch here in Bradenton. His imitations, he does an A-Rod and an Ichiro and a Dave Winfield and you're going to show some of those in the show. Aaron Boone, multi-talented manager of the New York Yankees. New pitcher is Jonathan Holder. You know, David, I mentioned the 7th inning stretch. Maybe they just do away with the 7th inning stretch. That'll shorten games too.
Speed up rules.
On our Ford scoreboard is 3-1 Pittsburgh as Holder delivers outside for ball 1. Here's Kramer, who started in the left field, now is at second base for Pittsburgh. 0 for 2. Swing, and he foul tipped it into the glove. Dermis Garcia is now playing first base. He pinch ran for Mike Ford. And we have some other changes we'll catch you up on. Holder delivers, fouled off. Diego Castillo is now at shortstop. Armando Alvarez is now at third. We already told you that Brandon Lockridge is in center field. I tell you, Miguel Andujar is getting a day's work out there in left field. He's still in there. Made a nice play on that last line drive. Check swing by Kramer. The pitch is upstairs. Full count.
He looks like he's having fun out there. Coming out, you know, to the bench, and the way his teammates greeted him. And
I mean, you're in the outfield. You can turn, talk to the fans if you want.
He's an outfielder. He was only faking it at third base all those years.
Foul tipped into the glove, and Kramer is struck out. Jonathan Holder strikes him out.
He's always been an outfielder. Just didn't know, and nobody knew it.
You know, after he tried to come back last year after he injured his shoulder, you could tell his swing wasn't right. So the Yankees immediately said, oh, you're going for the surgery, and his swing looks right on par this spring.
Yeah, and you noticed that from day one.
Foul ball by Luke Maile, the number 9 hitter.
Hey, Kenny, you mentioned that swing with Miguel Andujar. We've seen that the bat speed is definitely back so far this spring. I asked him if there was ever any concern when he was going for that shoulder surgery that part of it would not return, that he would struggle offensively and never regain that speed, and he said no. The doctor assured him that he would make a full recovery. He did not allow any of those negative thoughts to creep into his head, and he followed the protocol in trying to come back. He's happy that early in spring he got some validation that the bat speed is in fact there. I spoke to general manager Brian Cashman, and he said business as usual as far as Andujar in that batter's box. As far as playing the outfield is concerned, he spent the majority of the offseason here in Tampa working out, trying to get himself ready, and he actually started working with Reggie Willits about 2.5 to 3 weeks early before position players even reported, to get himself just a little bit more comfortable in that outfield, knowing some reps could be coming. Now, obviously, the state of the outfield right now, you maybe would not have predicted that that he'd be playing out there as much as he is, but certainly another option for Aaron Boone and how to get his bat in that lineup.
Yeah, anytime if you can get a guy into your lineup who hit 47 doubles and 27 home runs and drove in over 90 runs in his rookie season. You know, a lot of people thought he should have been Rookie of the Year. Shohei Ohtani won it. But the Sporting News chose Andujar, the Rookie of the Year. Swing and a miss, and Maley's out of there. So Holder has come out of the bullpen and struck out the first 2 Pirates he has faced. And to bring up Brian Hayes, Charlie's son. Yeah, Meredith, you're right. The fact is that he worked hard over the winter just to get himself ready. I think any time you have something taken away from you that you've been doing your whole life, and still, you know, at his age and what he had accomplished in his rookie year, he's going to work hard to get back to it.
And Kenny, there could be some players that would be upset losing their position essentially to somebody else, but he and Gio Urshela are actually good friends. They get along extremely well. They root for each other. I spoke to Urshela the other day about what he's thought of Andujar in the outfield, and he's pleased with the fact that he's having a good time out there. He seems to be playing the position well, and Miguel Andujar from day one this spring has said, anything I can do to help this team win, I am willing to do. And guys, you believe it when he says it.
1-2-3 inning for Zader as he made
a great reaction by Gio to stay with it and still get it around the horn. Pitcher's best friend.
New pitcher for the Pirates is James Marvel, and he'll face Chris Gittens. And the first pitch is outside for ball 1. Yankees are down 3-1 as we go to the 8th inning. An unusual delivery. 2 balls and no strikes. Christian Kelly now doing the catching for Pittsburgh. Now tipped off the mask of Kelly. No harm, no foul. He's still in there. Yeah, Marvel, as I'm watching his delivery, looks like a guy who just got a rebound and he's pump faking before going back up with the offense, with the shot.
It's like a fake stretch maneuver. It looks like he's coming set in the stretch, and then he goes into like a little drop step. A little bit of a rock. No, I'm not. I'm going to drop step, and obviously trying to get some rhythm going there. Every pitcher has his own little idiosyncrasies or timing mechanisms. And
here's a pitch to Gittens, and the slider's low and away. Gittens has struck out 3 times against 3 different pitchers. And of course, this is the first time he's seen Marvel. And he's drawn a walk, so a no contact afternoon for Chris Gittens. 3 strikeouts and a walk.
The right fielder, number 68, Zach Slater. Max Burton goes to first to pitch run.
We have a pinch runner for Gittens. And there's a toss over to first.
You know, Kenny, I wanted to ask you about it. You know, I'm a big fan of Joe Posnanski, who's been a long-time sports writer. Just done great work for a lot of years. He's doing this feature in The Athletic of the greatest 100 players.
I've been reading it, reading along with it.
And today, number 20. He's down to number 20. The great Frank Robinson. I think one of his best articles.
Did he say Frank was underrated? I think
underrated at number 20. Yes.
Yeah. I was reading part. I couldn't read it all. I was going to read it later on tonight when I got home.
Yeah, it's.
He's a great writer.
This one's a cut above, and not only because of the subject matter. Frank Robinson, just a remarkable story in and of itself, and first African American manager after an unbelievable playing career.
The late Frank Robinson.
Yes.
There's a swing and a miss.
And the game's been around so long. It's hard to come up with the top 100 greatest players. Frank Robinson ranking in number 20.
Only player ever to win a MVP in both leagues. When he retired, he was 4th on the all-time home run list. Rookie of the Year, 14-time All-Star, 2-time World Champion. The only player ever to hit a ball completely out of Memorial Stadium. Of course, it's gone now in Baltimore. Hit it off Louis Tion. I bet you Louis had something to say about that. Zahner takes it inside for a ball. Pirates 3, Yankees 1. A rare road game on Yes. It pitches outside for a ball. I didn't think we did any games on the road last year.
No, because you and I get the roadies. We're roadies. So if there was, we would have been. We were here, I think, 3 years ago here in Bradenton doing the game here. Might have been a little longer than 3 years ago.
You know, Connie, your memory's not as good as you think. I was told it was 8 years ago.
Close enough.
This ball's hit well by Zahner into center field. Going back is Martin. He makes the catch for the out. Some video of Frank Robinson. This is back when he was with the Cincinnati Reds. Rookie of the Year. That was a home run at Ebbets Field. There's a home run in Milwaukee. Frank was a no-nonsense player and coach and manager.
I remember knocking on his office door one day just to say hello and introduce myself. Even he just looked at me. What do you want? He could smell that I was a pitcher.
Diego Castillo is first at bat. That's what he did with Tampa last year. These players are getting younger and younger.
There are baby faces, and then there are that face.
Oh. That pitch misses to Castillo. 2 balls and no strikes. Tying run at the plate for the Yankees. They're down 3-1 here in the 8th inning. Marvel falls behind 3-0. Yeah, when it was McKechnie Field here in Bradenton, ballpark did not look this nice. Sometimes you felt a heavy wind like today, the fence was going to fall over. That's ball 4. Castillo draws a walk. So the Yankees have the tying runs on base without a hit here in the 8th inning. The Pirates are helping the Yankees out. I remember playing an exhibition game here. I forgot what team I was with, but I remember playing here. And they've done an excellent job of refurbishing this place.
I mean, you're in the middle of a neighborhood here. So you see some of the old-time photos around. I mean, you're literally right around. I mean, there's ranch-style houses right in the backyard here.
We mentioned this is the oldest spring training facility in baseball. This place been here since 1923.
I played minor league baseball here in the Florida State League.
You know what? I was in the Florida State League too. I don't remember if Bradenton was in the league though. They probably were. It was, you know, I think back in those days, Florida had just become a state. The Bradenton Marauders in the Florida State League. That's the affiliate here for Pittsburgh. Holder lines one into left field for a base hit. Yankees going to have Holder runner at third. Whoa, what a throw by Elmore in left field. So the Yankees now have the bases loaded with one out here in the eighth. Holder with his third hit of the afternoon. And now a pinch runner at first base for Holder, who's had himself a good afternoon.
Yeah, the guy known for his glove came with his bat today.
Paul Young Park will take over at first. So Park is now at first, as the Yankees are threatening big time here in the eighth inning. Here's strike one. Brandon Lockridge. Charleston 12 home runs, showed some power. Check swing, and it's quickly 0-2. Lockridge took over in center field for Mike Tachman. The 0-2 pitch wouldn't chase the slider. Ball and 2 strikes. Dave, was all your spring training in Florida? I never trained in Arizona.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Florida the whole way.
From what I hear, it's easier training out there because the ballparks are closer together. Ground ball off the bag. It's a fair ball. The Yankees are going to tie the game. 2-run score. Now there's another runner trying to score. He will. The Yankees take the lead on a 3-base hit. Brandon Lockridge. What a hot smash off the bag, and the Yankees finally get their big hit.
Right down the line and get out of the way off the bag. Oh, it knocks the umpire on his back. Knocks the right fielder on his back. And when all is said and done, 3-run score.
Yeah, that was Jerry Lane, the first base umpire. Look out, Jerry. The merry-go-round is in motion. The throw comes to third. And the Yankees have scored 3 times. So the Pirates have been handing out opportunities with all the base on balls today, and the Yankees finally cash in.
Well, that's one of those ones when you get in the umpire's room after the game. Oh, you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it, Jerry. Because that was funny.
Pirates bring the infield in with 1 out and Armando Alvarez at the plate. Yankees trying to put another run on the board here. They've scored 3 times here in the 8th inning. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Double-A and Triple-A a year ago. 76 runs batted in. That's a pretty good total in a minor league season. Pitch gets away, but not far enough away for Lockridge to score.
Baby Bombers leading the comeback here. Yeah. I mean, the real Baby Bombers.
You got to think if that ball had actually hit Jerry Lane, the Yankees might only got 2 runs out of that. They could put the runners where they think they would have been. So Jerry was quick enough to get out of the way.
You know, he saw it the whole way, and he was kind of trying to olay it, and then he hit the bag and went right towards his forehead.
Ground ball towards the middle into center field for a base hit. Alvarez comes through, and the Yankees now lead 5-3. A 4-run top of the 8th inning.
Get up on top of that. Going to be some phone calls home to mom tonight.
Ball hit in the air down the right field line. The wind's going to push it foul and out of play. The batter for the Yankees, Everson Pereira, is now batting in Andujar's spot. He played at Staten Island last year. Did go deep. See one of these minor league players come over, you get one at bat. Make the most of it. Lockridge has, so did Alvarez. This pitch is fouled back. Good swing by Pereira. Remember those days you used to come in like the 8th inning, Dave?
Yes, I remember that. You know, you had a chance to actually get something other than a peanut butter and jelly sandwich too after the game.
I remember the days when I would get one at bat in big league camp. You try to make the most of it. I remember hitting a home run in my one at bat at Al Lang Field. I was walking around downtown St. Pete the other day, and it just brought back memories. Throw over the first. Alvarez is back.
You know, that's the way these things work. You know, all these kids were in minor league camp, and I still remember you get that phone call in the morning, you show up, and you're like, hey, yeah, you got to get to Bradenton. You're going to be with the big league club.
Foul tipped and held for the strikeout. That's out number 2. Dermis Garcia will come to the plate. Yankees have sent 8 men to the plate here in the 8th. Look at that. 17 home runs in the Florida State League. That's a pretty good total. Reason being, these ballparks are where big leaguers train, and they got big league dimensions. I think my year in the Florida State League, I hit 4 home runs.
It's a pitcher's league.
Yeah, it is. Air is heavy.
It's hot.
Yeah, it is hot. Thunderstorms every day. Swing and a miss, 0-2. James Barber was walking off the mound. He's going to have to retrace his steps as the count is of 1 ball and 2 strikes. But anything but a marvelous inning. As the Yankees have scored 4 runs on just 2 hits, or make that, 3 hits. Ball gets away, not far enough away for the runner to advance. 4 runs, 3 hits, and 2 walks. kind of fooled on the pitch. Had an emergency swing and fouled it off. Garcia's hanging tough. And the count is run full at 3-2. We've had a number of these 3-2 counts today.
And a number of Pirates pitching changes too, mid-inning.
That's a little unusual because starters now are I guess Stratton is working out the bullpen. He's the one who started today, and it's set up the number of pitches the Pirates have used. That's ball 4. And the Yankees will send 9 men to the plate here in the 8th inning. Third walk, Marvel is handed out, and Marvel is now out of the game. We're going to have yet another pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates, as Derek Shelton's going to make the pitching change. Yankees 5, the Pirates 3, all only on Yes. New pitcher is Mike Slaybaugh, and he'll face Josh Tolley, the 9th batter for the Yankees here in the 8th inning, and he's up with 2 men on. And the first pitch is outside for ball 1. Ike Schlabach. He's listening to the PA announcer. He got it wrong. This pitch is outside for ball 2. 2-0. Ike Schlabach.
PA announcer got it wrong?
No, I did. I didn't hear it clearly enough. No, the PA announcers are never wrong. Just ask Paul Olden. Good swing by Tolley. He fouls it back. 2 balls and a strike.
You know, the late great Bob Shepard, you know, you could late in his career, you could hire him to do your voice messages for you.
Oh.
It could be your voice on your answer machine. On your voicemail?
Yeah. Three balls and a strike.
I wish I would have done that. Would have kept it. Still have his voice on your phone. Please leave a message.
Here comes a 3-1 pitch, and it's high for ball 4, and the bases are reloaded. Let's see how many walks this inning. 4 walks the Yankees have gotten this inning.
Number 96, Max Burt. Now batting.
Max Burt will come to the plate. He pinch ran for Chris Gittens, who started us all off with a base on balls. So when we talk about getting that one at bat, his is going to come with the bases loaded. High and away for ball 1. Ten Yankees have walked in this game. Ball 2.
We're going to have a split vote on the player of the game, I think, on this one. I vote for Lockridge now. 3 RBIs, 1 at bat.
1 at bat.
Off the bag, knocked the umpire down.
That's an exciting at bat, too.
That's the play of the day right now.
Ball 3. This could be one of the easiest RBIs Max Burt has ever got. There's a pitch in there for a strike. And a smattering of applause from some of the Pirate fans here at the Lakon Park. Here's a 3-1, and it's fouled back, and the count is now full. So the runners will be going. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And it's fouled back. We'll do it all over again. The Yankees trying to add to a 5-3 lead, which they have produced here in the 8th inning with a 4-run 8th. Here we go again with the 3-2 pitch. Look out, it is ball 4, and the Yankees have a 6-3 lead. The merry-go-round continues to turn here in the 8th inning. So Zach Zahner will come to the plate. He has made one of the 2 outs this inning, flying out to center field. By my count, that is 11 base on balls the Pirates have handed out today. Look out, it's inside, ball 1. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
You know, Kitty, I've been there on the mound. You kind of wonder what's going through your mind when this is happening to you.
David, I don't ever remember you being this wild. Here's a call strike.
I had a couple spring training games like this.
Well, if you're the catcher, you just sit right down the middle. Just throw the ball here. Let him hit it.
You want to know what he's thinking right now? Absolutely nothing.
Ball 3. Eventually, they got to run out of pitchers. It's their 9th pitcher in the game today. Look out, ball 4. The Yankees have another run. It's 7-3. Zahner will pick up a run batted in.
I mean, when you're on the mound, Kenny, and you know this from batting as well. It happens when there's a bat in your hands or there's a baseball in your hand. You just get into that tension mode where everything in your body tenses up, and to do something as simple as throw the baseball down the middle of the plate becomes very hard to do because of emotions and tension.
The Pirates have a new pitching coach. Oscar Marin, and he handed out some sort of advice there. It's his first year as a pitching coach. And here's Diego Castillo. And he'll take a pitch. Ball one. Castillo drew a walk. There's a call strike, and it's 1-1. The Yankees had 3 hits this inning. Ground ball towards the middle. Could be a tough play for Cruz. Throws on the run, and he gets it. And that's it. But the Yankees break it open and lead 7-3. We're going to hear from Mike Ford when we come back.
To last season, what comes to mind?
You know, just kind of the dream come true, you know, of just getting there. And, you know, it was a long road to get there. And then just being able to contribute at that level was special to me.
Is there one moment that stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean, there were so many great moments I got to be a part of last year. You know, all CC stuff, 3,000 strikeouts, his farewell. I mean, I'm going to go with the walk-off. I mean, that was the epitome of what I always wanted to do.
Did you learn anything more about yourself as a hitter last season?
Yeah, I mean, definitely at this level, they're going to adapt to you much quicker, so you have to do the same thing. But just kind of stay within my approach and just try to have fun.
I know you changed up maybe your off-season workout routine a little bit, incorporating some yoga. How did that all come about?
So about 3 years I started doing it, and last year I took to it a lot, and then this past off-season, you know, with the success I had last year, just kind of build off that. Body feels great when I do it. Became my favorite hour of the day. So
I guess the biggest question now is, how do you build on the success that you had last season?
I mean, just for me, it's being able to contribute, you know, if that's daily or off the bench in any way for this club, that's what I'm going to do. And, you know, just keep trying to progress my game the way I can.
How have you felt so far this spring?
A little bit behind the 8 ball, I guess. But, you know, I think a lot of hitters around the league are feeling that way. You know, early in the year, you come in, you feel good for 2 days, you feel bad for 2, and get back to feeling good. So just trying to get more consistency down the stretch here and see what happens.
Mike Chalkman made the comment. He feels like pitchers are throwing a lot harder earlier than they ever did in the past. Do you second that opinion?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've seen a pitch like under 95. So it's crazy. You know, they're so good these days that, and they get ready, you know, a little bit before us. So coming in, having 4 days is it's a rough turnaround for us, but I think everyone understands it. So,
Mike, thanks for the time.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Well, that was Mike Ford from earlier today as Meredith Marakovitz interviewed the Yankee first baseman. He said he's behind the 8 ball. He's got to be feeling a little bit better after 2 doubles this afternoon. New pitcher for the Yankees is Tyler Lyons. He's making his 5th appearance. There's a run at first with 1 out.
Well, the only thing Mike Ford really ever needed was an opportunity. He proved himself in the minor leagues all those years. And that's really the only question this year, how he can improve just to get more at-bats. And if the Yankees can find a way to get him those at-bats, if it works out.
Here's Jason Martin. He took over in center field, and there's a call strike, and it's 1-1 from Tyler Lyons.
And Kenny, he had 12 home runs and less than 150 at-bats. So if somebody like Mike Ford got 400 to 500 at-bats, what would that number be?
Sweeping breaking ball from Lyons in their first strike. 1-2.
And that's going to be the challenge, you know, for Aaron Boone, is to find at-bats for all these guys. And
well, some of them are going to get at-bats because injuries to the likes of Stanton and Judge. A player like Clint Frazier will get more of an opportunity to play because we know he can hit. And he's looked pretty good in the outfield this spring, too.
What is that opening lineup going to look like in Baltimore?
Well, they'll be facing a left-hander probably in John Means, who was an all-star left-hander last year for the Orioles. Swing and a miss, and Martin is gone. Lyons with a sweeping hug strikes out Jason Martin. 2 down, a man on. O'Neal Cruz will come to the plate.
I mean, we kind of know what the outfield's going to be. You know, it's going to probably be Clint Frazier in right and Gardy in center and Mike Tauchman in left. Luke Voigt will be on first base. Your DH, I guess, versus a lefty could probably be Miguel Andujar. Against a right-handed pitcher, it could potentially be Mike Ford.
Just 19 days to the opening of the regular season. Yankees open on a road trip to Baltimore and Tampa Bay before returning to the stadium. Yankees in there first strike. So O'Neal Cruz, 6'7". You can almost imagine Aaron Judge, 6'7", him playing shortstop. There's another call strike, 1-2. Yankees with a 6th run, 8th inning, down lead 7-3, and they were helped out by the Pirate pitchers, who showed a distinct lack of control. Well, throughout the ball game, really. Swing and a miss. Good job by Lyons. Picks up his 2nd straight strikeout. We're going to go to the top of the 9th.
He trabajado como yo he querido, lanzándolo con confianza, que lo más importante para un lanzador, tener confianza en su picheo y tener confianza en mi cambio, es algo que me está gustando bastante.
Yeah, I think it has been pretty good. You know, the results have been encouraging. You know, it's one of those pitches that you want to have confidence behind that pitch to be able to execute that pitch, and I think so far so good with it.
With the exception of that pitch to John Ryan Murphy, you've had a great spring. What do you attribute your consistency to so far this spring?
Y sacando ese picheo que contra John Murphy en el día de hoy ha tenido un entrenamiento de primavera muy bueno. ¿A qué cree que ha sido cuál tú crees que ha sido la razón por eso?
La preparación que me di antes de venir a Tampa, trabajar en el comando de mi recta, que es lo más importante, que mi picheo fortaleza la recta, el comandarla creo que es lo que me ayuda bastante en este sprint training, eliminando la base por bola.
Yeah, you know, I've worked a lot in the off season to get myself in great shape and to come into camp with the mindset of commanding my fastball. It was the priority to do that, to be able to execute that pitch, and I think I've been able to do that throughout spring training. You know, eliminating walks, something that I also wanted to do, and everything. It's a matter of using the fastball and commanding it and having all the other pitches work off of that.
You've thrown out of the bullpen. You've been a starter. Where do you think you best fit into this team?
Has salido del bullpen, has lanzado como abridor. Para este equipo, ¿dónde crees que es mejor para ti?
Bueno, yo voy a estar donde me necesiten, donde ellos me digan te necesitamos en tal rol, yo voy a estar 100% disponible, abierta a las posibilidades de que me traten de usar.
You know, I'm going to be right there for the team, you know, wherever they need me. You know, it doesn't matter where it is. Wherever the possibility is and however they come, I'm going to be right there ready for that.
Jonathan Loaisiga's thoughts. He says, wherever the team needs me. I think I would say that when I was a young pitcher. Whatever they want to do, as long as I'm in the big leagues, I'll do it.
Diplomacy.
Yeah.
Tell us what you really think. Come on. How about that Tiger T-shirt? That was nice.
Ho-Jun Park led it off for the Yankees, and he drew a walk. Ground ball towards third. Hayes goes to second, one on the first, not in time. So the Pirates get to force at second base, and Lockridge will take over at first. They'll bring up Alvarez. Armando Alvarez. He had one of 3 Yankee hits last inning. Drove in a run. Ball off the glove of Kelly. And going down to second is Lockridge. I got to believe that's a wild pitch. At least that's what I'm going to put down in my scorecard here.
Give me another look.
What do you think, Coney?
I think he was trying to frame it.
Here's a call strike to Alvarez. One, and that misses. 2 balls and a strike to Alvarez. Outside, ball 3 to Alvarez. Here's the pitch. And what do you know? It's a base on balls. Second this inning. Pirates have been handed out walks like candy at Halloween. 7-3 Yankees lead here in the top of the ninth.
Pretty good minor league numbers.
Yeah. Pereira will take a pitch for a call strike. Everson Pereira. Yankees have 2 on and 1 out here in the ninth inning. 14 base on balls, a walk-a-thon for the Pirates this afternoon. That slider's upstairs and it's 1-1. They did produce a 1-2-3 inning in the 4th. This ball's hit well to center field. It's going to chase Martin back, but as we told you, that wind is blowing a gale. Runner from second will advance to third as Lockridge now stands on the corner.
The first baseman, number 94.
And there are 2 outs. Dermis Garcia will come to the plate with runners at first and third. Good swing, and he fouled it back. Yeah, you get 1 at bat, you don't want to get cheated. And the way the Pirates are walking these hitters, Yankee hitters, they're going to get 2 at bats.
Yes, a gift.
Swing and a miss. Economos with a good slider. Tried it again. That one's low and in the dirt. 1-2. Strike 3. And that will do it. Yankees do not score, but lead at 7-3 as we go to the bottom of the ninth. And they're in charge of doing that is Dan Otero, who's been around the major leagues, veteran pitcher. And it's Cleveland. The Yankees signed him as a minor league free agent. And Otero will try and set the Pirates down and send the Yankees back to Tampa with smiles on their faces.
Otero, a career 3.39 ERA in 358 big league games.
Never started a game. Career reliever. Ground ball, slowly hit charging is Alvarez, throws quickly and gets it. Well, that was a nice play. One pitch and one out here in the 9th inning.
Very quick hands. How about that release? Rather than barehanded, trust the glove and get rid of it quickly.
This is excellent.
Wow. You can see he was thinking about barehanded and then just decided to go ahead and use the glove and get rid of it in a hurry.
He barely saw the ball in the glove for a split second. It's on its way to first. Here's Christian Kelly, and he'll take a pitch from Otero for a call strike.
It's one of those baseball plays that these players make look so easy that was really hard.
Yeah. Another ground ball, foul. Most quarterbacks in the NFL wish they had releases that quick. $80 games last year. In the dirt from Otero, ball and 2 strikes. Blooper off the end of the bat towards center field, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. So Kelly, with a broken bat single to center, will be on with 1 out here in the 9th inning. Example of a pitcher making a good pitch, and still the hitter gets himself a hit. Kevin Kramer to the plate. And he'll take a pitch for a call strike. Kramer today is 0 for 3. He's flied to right, popped to short, and struck out. 1 on, 1 out. Yankees up by 4. Trying to nail this one down here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And Bradenton, Florida. Line drive, right field, base hit. That's going to chase Kelly to third, and there'll be runners on the corners with 1 out. One of the hardest hit balls of the day. And it'll bring up to DH Luke Maley, who's looking for contact. 0 for 3 with 3 swinging strikeouts. Haley's got some big league experience with Tampa Bay and Toronto. Backup catching role. Otero deals a strike. Got a little inside, and it's 1-1.
You know, veteran backup catchers and veteran relievers have a lot in common, really, if you think about it. Two veterans trying to work their way on a roster at the end of a spring training game.
Maley the batter. Totally catching. Ground ball towards the middle. And no play, and a run's going to score at 7-4. Good try by Castillo at shortstop. Kept the ball from getting to the outfield.
Covered a lot of ground. Got there. No time to get rid of it.
Like he was trying to make a backflip out of the glove to park at second for the force. Instead, the Pirates had their 3rd straight hit and a run. It's now 7-4. It'll bring up Brian Hayes. Young Pirate third baseman, son of Charlie. Maley, after the 3 strikeouts, says, "Can you save the ball?" He's got a sense of humor. Slider is outside. Ball and a strike. Hayes hit a home run yesterday up in Dunedin. His first home run of the spring. The Pirates as a team hit 7 in that game. Scored 12 runs in the last 3 innings to eke out a 19-13 win. Swing miss. 1-2. And the way things are going, Coney, daylight saving might be a day late.
It's true. It's already turning forward here. Spring forward.
I'm saying it might be getting a little darker. You have to turn on the lights. Call strike 3. Hayes is caught looking. And the Pirates are down to their last out.
The first baseman, number 31, Will Craig.
Here's Craig. Broken bat popped up. Let's see who's going to make the play. Alvarez calling. He makes the catch. And there's your ball game. The Yankees win it by a score of 7-4 in a comeback victory. Let's take a look at the totals from this afternoon's ball game as the Yankees win it. 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Yankees. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Pirates. Time of the ball